Alright, so we just got back from our walk and I completely forgot to record. So today you're getting the cat and the dog. I have another cat too, but so what I'm gonna talk about today is apologies. Wow. How many fucking apologies have come out recently? Let's see, we've got Jenna Marbles, we've got Shane Dawson, and we've got Tati, and we've got now Jeffree Star. So instead of going through each apology, I wanted to talk about what makes a good apology and what makes a trash apology. First of all, I want to say that a lot of times, especially through social media, I really could not care less about apologies. They're generally very forced. They are not genuine. And even if they are genuine, it is a business move at the end of the day. It's not really for the benefit of anybody else except for the person giving the apology. And maybe it makes their audience feel a little bit better, which is fine. That's great. But ultimately, I think that true apologies are done in private and are a part of, they're almost a part of spiritual growth, right? When we're talking about spirituality in a lot of religions, apologizing is part of kind of like you're getting redeemed for what you've done. Catholicism has, I guess they have confession. In Judaism, which is what I know more about, there's a concept of how you are redeemed, right? For the things that you've done wrong. It's called teshuvah. And part of that is actively apologizing for the thing that you've done and then never doing that thing again. How many people who have given these apologies can really say, because let's be honest, a lot of these apologies are not the first apologies these people have given. How many of these people who have done these recent apologies can say that I made an apology and then I never did that thing again because I really felt bad about it and I really wanted to change and I really wanted to grow as an individual and I really put in the hard work because it's not easy. It's very difficult not to fall back into maladaptive patterns. So I think that's a big part about giving apologies. So, first person I'm going to talk about, and it's everybody's favorite person, Jenna Marbles. The reason why I think her apology really was a standout, a lot of people really took that apology to heart. Her community, her audience really has gotten behind her because of that apology, and the fact that she's distanced herself from social media has actually really affected a lot of people who, have been watching her for a long time. Well, her apology was unprompted. I don't know about you, but I had no idea that people were mad at her for anything. It's really funny because I do remember that music video that she did where she did the stupid rap that was racist. And I remember thinking, she's going to get in trouble for that. Not at the time that I first watched it, but I remember later on. I don't remember when. It was a little bit later than that. It was not super that long ago that I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. She's going to get in trouble for that. And even that was, a lot of people didn't, it was in very bad taste, but a lot of people didn't take it super to heart. I'm sure there were people who were offended, and I respect that, but I'm just saying in general, most people were like, oh, that was dumb. But let's get back to apologies. Her apology was it came off so uncalculated. Like, she really just sat down. took out her laptop to show people. Like, she didn't even go in and, like, you know, try to find the clips. She, like, literally just clicked through her laptop and was like, I really need to do this. I really need to get this off my chest. I really need to get this out there, and I really need to distance myself so that I can actively reflect on all of these things that I've done. So, yeah, I think that her apology was really genuine in that way. Was it a business move? Probably. Oh, yeah, probably. But do I think that it was genuine and that, you know, everything is, it's a multi-layered thing. It's a both and situation. Can it be genuine and can it be a smart business move? Yeah, both. It can be both. Those are not mutually exclusive things. Shane Dawson's apology. It wasn't great. But the thing that, and he didn't address all of the things that people were upset about, primarily the stuff about children. I think that was the main thing that people were upset about. Has Shane Dawson, has he done the behaviors that people are criticizing him for in a long time? I don't know. If I'm just now thinking about it, I don't think so, because as long as I started watching him around like the Spooky Boys time, and so I was very surprised at some of the stuff that's come out, but have I seen him engage in those kind of racist behaviors or talking in a way that was honestly scared people to have him around children? I didn't see any of it. Am I the ultimate authority on it? No. But do I think that he has, in the past few years, actively done some work to try to change? I do think so, actually. I do think that he's different from the person who we see he's the same person, but he's grown. He's grown a little bit from that time period. I will say that some of the kind of more covert racism still is lurking around in his content. Like, something that I've noticed with his content is, and you know, a lot of people have noticed this, is the lack of people of color. And the only time that I can think that I've seen people of color in his content, it has seemed like an afterthought. And this is going to sound really bad, they've seemed kind of like these are people he's using as props. There's a really pretty girl and a really hot guy. Handsome guy, I guess. They're both hot. And I don't know what they're from. I think they are part of I don't know if it's BuzzFeed or whatever organization Ryland used to anchor for. He did kind of like hosting stuff for them. I believe he knows them through that. And I just remember, I don't remember if it was like their Morganchella video or it was one of their dumbass videos where they're having like a pool party, and just like as an afterthought, he invites these two people of color and they're like running around in bathing suits and they're kind of like there to just like be like the models, and it's just, I don't know, it was kind of weird. I definitely noticed that it was a little bit weird. And that, like, just from the vibe that I was getting from the video, they seemed a little bit uncomfortable, but, you know, that's an outsider. I don't know what it was actively like that day when they were there. I don't know if these are, like, their best friends or whatever. But, yeah, so that's my take on Shane Dawson. His is, you know, a step down from Jenna Marbles, a couple steps down, you know, quite a few steps down from Jenna Marbles' apology, but still I do feel there is some level of genuineness coming from him. Tati Westbrook's non-apology, okay, I didn't like it. I don't know a lot of people who did like it. It came off super duper, like, oh, I was taken advantage of, da, 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 da. Am I saying that people can't be manipulated or can't be taken advantage of? No, of course they can. They can be, but I don't think she took enough accountability for what she did, because there's such a difference between, maybe like impulsively doing something and what she did with her Bye Sisters video. She had to have written, I think that she at least had, because the way she speaks, it comes off kind of scripted, so she has to at least had some script even in her mind. She had to do her makeup, set up her ring light, set up her video, probably edit her video. She probably didn't edit her own video. She probably had somebody else edit her video. But these things take time, and it was a very calculated video. And am I happy that she mentioned that she apologized to James Charles behind the scenes and they are on better terms? Yeah, that does make me feel a little bit better, but do I think that she took enough accountability in her video? No, I don't at all. I don't think she took even a little, like maybe the tiniest bit of accountability, but really it did not come off that way. And it was a lot of just, poor me, look at all the things that I've been through since that video came out, poor me, wow, I've had to move my millions of dollars home, and da-da-da-da. It's like, okay, girl, like, I really don't feel bad for you. Like, as I try to be compassionate, but that just, it wasn't a good look. It wasn't it for me. I don't know. It just came off very like, poor me, poor me. It didn't come off like, I am genuinely sorry for what I did, and I've done work since that time to try to strengthen myself so that doesn't happen again. It really didn't come off that way to me, because that's the kind of work that she needs to do. She needs to go to therapy or something. If she's able to be manipulated in that way, she really needs to go to therapy and work through those things and become more solid in herself and her beliefs and stuff, because that's really, what she did was real, like, it was really messed up. It was really, really messed up. This was somebody, James Charles was somebody who she called, like, she felt like he was like, she was like his mentor. This was somebody who you honestly had a certain power dynamic with. People haven't spoken about that. The power dynamic between Tati and James, and how that was super betrayed. So yeah, I really didn't like that. Finally, I'm going to talk about Jeffree Star's apology that just came out. Wow, was that not an apology? A lot of people have said that is not an apology. It's not an apology. Tati did the same thing where she was like, my lawyers are involved now. Okay, yeah, your lawyers are involved, his lawyers are involved, everybody's lawyers. Okay, that's fine. But I don't believe for a second that he actually felt bad about what he did, because not 2 months ago he was on the Mom's Basement podcast with Keemstar trying to show people this voice message or whatever it is, this voice memo. Did the same thing to Blair White, sent her the voice memo. This was weeks ago. Weeks. He doesn't feel bad about what he did. He doesn't think that what he did was wrong. He's honestly doing damage control right now because people are criticizing him, and it's from what it sounds like, he recorded somebody without their consent, and that's illegal. The fact that he's been spreading around this voice memo like crazy. Did he even mention that? I didn't watch the video, guys. I only watched other people's reactions. I did not want to sit down and watch his video. I did not want to give him my view or my click or anything like that. But from the clips that I have seen, he didn't really say, like, he didn't talk about the voice memo from what I saw. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Please do, because I'd really like to know. And he doesn't feel bad. He doesn't feel bad for what he did. He thinks that he's justified in what he did, and he's just doing damage control right now so that he doesn't get sued. Because it's an offense. You can definitely, if he went public with this voice recording, it would be a big deal. Not only would it be a really bad move as far as, like, keeping somebody who has been victimized anonymity and their ability to choose how and when, if ever, to go public with something like that. it would really be bad. It would really, really be bad, not just for that person, but Jeffrey would be, especially for that's who I think about, is if this voice memo exists, which I believe that something exists, but it's an out of context clip. Let's say that. So it's kind of hard to make determinations on something when you just hear a short snippet of what is said. It's I don't know. But ultimately, it doesn't really even matter. That's not why I'm making this video. Why I'm making this video is to talk about how I hope that people continue to hold him accountable for this. I hope people continue to hold ourselves accountable. I hope that we, as a community, stop trying to force these apologies out of people because they're dumb and they're senseless and they don't do anything for anybody. They don't help the situation because they're not genuine. None of these apologies, except for Jenna Marbles, were prompted by themselves. It was prompted by a community trying to force somebody to speak. And that's just ridiculous. It does nothing for me. It does nothing for the people who are hurt to have a forced apology upon them. And Jeffree Star did not mention if he actively apologized to James Charles behind closed doors. If you're going to apologize to somebody, it better be to their face or in private. You don't just put out a video saying like, "Oh, I'm sorry," because that's not right. That's disingenuous. So that was my rant. I don't have an outro. Shady. Shay, can you sit? Oh, yes. Sit down, please. Sit down. Good boy. Good boy. Can I have your paw?